So this summer I've watched 12 new releases and it's been great, so I'm going to rank them all from worst to best. So before we start this is only new releases, not movies that I've just watched in general. That'll be a hell of a long list. Just the 12 new releases I've watched in cinemas, and this is from May to August. This is from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to Blue Beetle, basically. So let's do this. Number 12 is Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I wasn't expecting much and I didn't get much. Sure, it's got cool action scenes, but it doesn't have any emotion to it. All these CGI characters are so lifeless, it's extremely generic and honestly a snooze fest to get through, since it takes 2 hours to get to those cool fight scenes. I wouldn't watch this one again. Number 11, The Little Mermaid. It doesn't really add much to the original, with a few cringy parts and some annoying new songs that no one gives a crap about. It has its charm, but if you ask me for a Little Mermaid to watch, I'll just give you the original, which is obviously the superior version. Number 10 is Blue Beetle. Solo is great at this character, and the family dynamic is fantastic as they go along the adventure too, but the villains are very generic and the plot is predictable as hell. I could tell you everything that's going to happen whilst watching this film. Number 9 is Elemental. A sweet movie with a good message, but it doesn't live up to old Pixar, but I don't know if anything really will. The characters are fine enough. The emotions are fine enough. It's just a fine enough movie. Number 8 is Haunted Mansion. A surprisingly spooky time with a good message, some good emotional moments and good acting. But I do find that it has some issues with the pacing of the film, as it takes half an hour for everything to be set up, and it's 2 hours when it could easily be shortened down to an hour and a half. Number 7 is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's great to see Indy on the big screen again, him going on his adventures, but this is easily the least interesting adventure we have seen him on. The side characters are honestly unlikable or just uninteresting, so although it's great to see his character again, it is definitely a flawed film. I used to think it was one of the best from this year, but now it's definitely gone down for me a bit. Number 6 is Barbie. Good message, funny jokes and good acting, especially from Ryan Gosling. He's the GOAT, by the way. But it's hard to know what the age demographic is here, with it being a Barbie movie, but with having a bunch of weird sex jokes or about economics or something like that. Number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. A really fun modern adaptation of the Turtles, making them feel like real teenagers and having some great animation and some great story points. So easily, in my opinion, my favourite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adaptation. I haven't seen many though. Number 4 is The Flash. Sure, it has some terrible CGI, but honestly, I don't care. I care about how good the story is, and the story is good, as you can tell because it's this high up on my list. Michael Keaton came back, which is magical, and Ezra Miller's acting was great. This is how you do a proper multiverse of madness. I'll agree that the ending was extremely weird and messy though, but give this movie some slack. It's really good. Number 3 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. At first I wasn't so sure about this one, but after a rewatch I realised I made a mistake. This movie is fantastic. I still have issues with it, but they are very minor issues. But the animation is fantastic, the characters and world building are even better. This is easily the most impressive animated movie I've ever seen, and I can't wait for part 2. Number 2, aka our runner-up, is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This felt like the most summer movie out of the summer movies. It's a pure action film, a roller coaster from beginning to end. The action sequences are engaging from beginning to end as well, and I just love this film. They managed to put character arcs and moments in whilst also just going full action mode for the entire film. Easily one of my favourites from this year, and easily one of my favourite Mission Impossible movies. And my first place, if you've seen my review of this movie, then it's not that much of a surprise. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, sorry. This is the perfect end to these characters. It manages to end out everybody's character arcs, whilst also leaving room for more. There's a bunch of fantastic action scenes. It's also extremely emotional. Like, I cried whilst watching this film, which is something I don't normally do with films. The comedy is still there, the soundtrack is still there, everything is still there, and that is how old Marvel used to do things. And if this is how they're going to do the rest of Phase 5, it could be one of the greatest phases in the MCU. I hope you enjoyed this list, and if you haven't, please subscribe, and in the comments, rank all of the summer movies you've watched. Anyway, thank you for giving me your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.